Okay, it's recording now. So as I said, we are going to look at data structuring for analysis. Then we are going to look at how can you structure your data, how can you make your data to be in a form that is suitable for analysis. Then we also look at data validation. We look at in-depth overview of how you can take advantage of data validation to guide against error, and at the end of the day, you have a bit of data integrity while people are entering data. So let's look at this. Then for you to structure your data, there are certain rules that need to be followed. Either you want to do your analysis in pivot table, or even you want to do your analysis in Power BI, or you want to do your analysis in any platform at all, either Access, or even you are trying to develop your software. There are certain rules that your data must comply with for you to be able to do your analysis without any headache. So one of the rule is, you can see the list of the rule I listed here. Number one is that you must have one rule of heading. And if you look at this data we are looking at now, it complies with this number one. This is our heading, and is occupying only one row. Not that we have something like this. For example, you have date here, then you have revenue probably here also. Then if you have something like this, then your heading is actually occupying two rows, which is not right. So first, one row of heading. Then number two, no empty column. This is what a column is. So what I'm trying to say is, you don't have something like this. Let's say you insert something like this. You have something like this. No, you should not have any empty column, because even if you want to use ordinary pivot table, there will be an issue while doing your analysis. So no empty column. Then no empty row also. You know what row is? Something like this. There shouldn't be any empty row. Then the number four, all date must be in a single column. Now, this is date. Your date must always occupy a single column. You can't have, unless although it's possible to have date in two different columns depending on the nature of your data. For example, let's say you have other date, you have the date the product was sold in another column. So, but just ensure that whatever you're having in a particular column must be consistent from beginning to the end. Then number five, every unique data must have its own column. That is, the data in every column must have the same context. So, for example, we have product type. So everything you be having under the product type must have the same context. That is, they are of the same type. They are of the same categorization. Product type, you cannot have customer name here and mix it with product type. That will violate one of these rules, and there is no way you can generate any meaningful insight. So a single column must have its own unique, a unique data must have its own column. That is, every data in that column must be of the same type. You have date, you can see we have date from beginning to the end, revenue. Then number six, no total or subtotal anywhere in the table. That is, you can't have something like this. You know, there are some data, there are some software, if you export data from them, you will see that they normally have subtotal in between them. So even if you have that subtotal, then there is need for you to sort of remove the subtotal, because if you don't remove the subtotal, you can't, this particular value now is a subtotal, then maybe this customer is categorized. Then you have a particular subtotal for a particular customer. You go down again, you have another subtotal. Then for you to do your analysis, you need to first remove all those subtotal. So that is that. Then each field or column must have correct data type. This is a column. This is a column. So the product type, we have text. Expenses, we have value. We have value here. We have date here. Country, we have text. So the data type must be correct. In the product type, you cannot have a situation like this. Then you have something like this. Then this data needs cleaning, it needs transformation. This will tell you that something is actually wrong with this particular column. Then we have the next one, we have no formula in the header. For example, if you have something like this is just ordinary text. Then if you change it to something like this, it will not go because text in a formula has to be in double quotes. So if you have something like this, fine. It's going to show you as if it's a text, but ordinarily, if you want to do your analysis, ensure that everything you have here does not contain any formula. They are all text, no formula in the header. You will see what's going to happen as we move forward. So that is that about rule for transforming your data, rule for structuring your data. For any analytics project that you want to do at all, it must comply with this rule. See, let me tell you, I've been using Excel for years. I've developed a lot of model. I've seen a lot, both in the corporate world and even in project at handle. People don't transform their data in a normal form, the way I'm showing you like this. And if you don't transform your data in a normal form like this, by the time you want to be generating your report, it will be cumbersome, it will be complex, and it becomes very difficult. It becomes very complicated. In fact, you'll be looking for formulas for you to use to be able to achieve your result when you want to do your report. But if you ensure first, you first transform this data in a proper structure like this, by the time you want to do your report or you want to do your further analysis, it will be very seamless. The formula you'll be writing, it will not be so complex, it will not be so complicated. So that is the benefit of ensuring that you always transform your data. Any question, any contribution at this point? Since we are not so many, I think. Okay.
I'm wondering how you were able to put blue ink, white, blue color, white color, intermittent.
The color, the coloring, I think you will get to know that. What actually happened is that this data was formerly in a table before I converted it back to range. So you will get to know how to get this color without any stress. So any other contribution or question or clarification? So we can move ahead. So let me copy this rule, this 8 rule here. Let me copy it and take it to the other. I just want to take it to the other side. So I will paste it here. Now, looking at this data you are looking at now, we have staff name. This like I come up with this during the remote work period, where we have a kind of schedule for staff, people that work remotely and people that we call work on site. So this data you are looking at now, looking at this rule that we have highlighted here, looking at it, does it really comply with this rule? And does it is it in a normal structure as we have it like this for analytics, this staff schedule that you are looking at?
Yes, it follows the same pattern.
It follows the same pattern. Okay.
Yes.
What about is that Olaide speaking?
It's Olu.
Okay, fine.
Alarakwe.
Okay, fine, that's fine. Olade, what about you? I just want to use that to test our knowledge of what we just discussed here. We don't worry, we'll make everything simple. It's not difficult. I just want it to be interactive. So,
I
Olade, what do you
understand.
think?
I understand what you have done before. I understand how to convert table to range and range to table. So I understand the reason
Okay,
for the color.
okay. But the data, this data you are looking at now, is it in a proper structure as far as this rule I've explained, and as far as comparing this structure with this structure that we have here, is it in a normal structure, this staff schedule? Okay, don't worry. Without wasting time, the first thing we need to do now, for the coloring, this coloring is because I first convert this to a table before convert it back to range. So let me just use this for the coloring so that you know what's happening here. You can convert this range to a table. You just press your Ctrl T to convert to table, then you can click my table as a header. But I use Ctrl T here. Please note, if you are in Excel online, if you use Ctrl 3, it's not going to work. Note, you are going to use Ctrl L. So this is Ctrl T to convert it to a table, then you click OK. So you can see that this is how I got that color. So the
Okay.
color comes automatically. So currently now I'm in a table. I'm no longer in a range. So immediately you convert your data to a table, you will notice something. You will see a new tab here called table design. Can you see something here?
Show your arrow on
So
it.
this one,
Yes,
this
yes,
table
I see
design.
table design.
Yeah. So once you have your data like this, you see table design. It means that your data is in a table. But if you go to this data structure for analytics, you can't see, even if it's in a color, it can be confusing. But if you look at it, you can see table design here. That means it's still in a range, not in a table. But go to the staff schedule, you can see this table design. So this is a table. So what we do now, this data structure for analytics, let me convert this to a table. You press enter. Now you can see something that's happening here. Anytime Excel is giving you a notification, most time people don't take time to read them. Please always read them. It's always good. It's going to help you a lot. Read it. So you can see what it's telling us there. It said formula or rich data type in the header row will now be removed or convert to a static text. Do you want to continue? What is causing this notification is because you remember I type a particular formula here the other time. So because I want to convert to a table, a normal table structure, as I said, looking at this rule, you are not expected to have a formula in your header. Look at this number 8. But this has broken the rule, and when I wanted to convert it to a table, it's giving me an error message. So you have to ensure that you don't have formula in your header. So if you press your Ctrl T again, then you say okay, it's going to give you that notification. Then do you want to continue? If you now click yes, this particular formula that we have in the product type will now be converted to a text, removing the formula. So okay, so if you check it now, you can see there is no formula there again. So that's to tell you table itself need a proper structure for it to work. Table, converting your data to a table will ensure that at least you comply with one or two of these rules. So now we have a table. You can see table design. This table design now give you opportunity to take advantage of all the functionality on that table. Now you can see several things. You can do your slicer while in a table. If you are in a range, you cannot do your slicer. So you can just click your slicer. Let's say you want to slice by product type. Then you have your product type. When you click on it, it slices it by product type. You can see book, you can see clothing. So that is one of the advantage of working in a table. So another thing you will also notice is when you work in a table like this, you can invariably take advantage of some formula without you typing them yourself. So you can see this particular place, total row. If I check this total row and you go down, let me go to the last. Let me go to the last step. Sorry, let me go to the end of the. So this is the end of the. Let me remove this for now. So this is the end of the data. So if you click on this total row, you will see what's going to happen. It's going to automatically insert this total here. So this is the total of the profit. Now, when you click on this and you check your drop down, then you'll be able to take advantage of this function without you typing it yourself. You have max, you have min. Ordinarily, you need to learn how to type this or how to use it for you to, but now you can just can have your maximum. So you can generate a lot of insights with this data with this alone. So that is that about another benefit of this table function. Then another thing that you can also, let me delete this total profit so that we do it again. Now, let's say, for example, we want to calculate this total profit. Now, if you click like this, you say revenue minus expense. You will see that table is not using the normal what is called range reference A1, A2. It's actually using a meaningful name, revenue minus expense, which is readable. You can understand it that, okay, this is revenue. But if you are using A1, A2, you don't actually know what A1, A2 means. So now, this is actually making use of the header. This header is what this formula is making use of. That's why this your header, you must ensure that you give it a name that you can actually understand. Your header is part of your data because it gives meaning to each of the row, product type, country. So you must be able to describe each of these column clearly. So you have, then when you press enter, you see that the formula spill by itself. Unlike when you are in the normal range, you have to drag down. And this also ensures that your formula is consistent. With this, there is no way you have a separate formula in between the cell. It's not possible because everything is coming from up to down. So when you have this, maybe you don't want to calculate it automatically, you don't want it to speed down, then if you check this, you will see, but I don't see the need where you should stop it from calculating automatically. So that is that about table revenue. Then you have your, then when you convert to a table, Excel give it a default name. You can see table 3 here. So meaning that this table is table 3. So if you want to rename it, you can just go to this box, click on it, then give it a name. What name can we give it? A name. Hello, are we still there?
I'm here.
Okay, so let's give it a name.
I'm thinking that the name is already profit now.
No. You don't get what I'm saying. What I'm saying that look at this place, table 3. Can you see this place?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
This table 3 is the name of this table. All the data that you are seeing here, that is the name Excel has given to it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So by default, Excel will give it a name, either table 1, table 2, table 3, depending on how Excel think. So now you need to change the name to make it meaningful the way you want it. So what name can we give to this data? So
you can say annual profit.
So this data, annual profit.
Or annual sales performance or something.
No, and don't let it be so long like that so that it will be not be cumbersome. Don't let it be so long, the number of words. You can just use a 2 word or a single word. So annual profit. don't make it so long. Annual profit, yeah. Then you click enter. So when you click enter, you see that the name is there. So this data is now, this name represents all the data you are looking at now. So peradventure, you want to give it a space between the annual profit and let's say you do something like this. It's not going to accept it. It's going to give you an error message. Can you see it? So if you want to give it a name with a space, then you have to put an underscore there, which is something like this, underscore. Then you press enter. So you can see that it's going to accept it with the underscore. So this is the name of the table now. All the data you are looking at here, this is the name given to it. Now, to demonstrate this to you, are you using, which of the version of the Excel are you using? Is it 365 or which one? Which version of the Excel are you using?
2020, which maybe 2020 or so.
Okay, 2020 or so. Okay, so it's not 365. What about Olaide?
What did you say?
What version of the Excel are you using?
I'm using 365.
Okay, fine. So Alaripe, try to, we see a way where you can also get 365 so that you take advantage of all this new functionality. Don't worry,
I have it, but I don't just use it. I'm just using the Microsoft
okay.
2000. I have
Okay.
Microsoft
Okay.
365 too. Yeah.
Okay. Because you are used to that, then you want to more or less stick to that one, isn't it?
No, I
it's
Can
understandable.
216 do it?
365.
Can 216 do it?
2016.
Yes.
Everything we have been doing now, since we started up to this point, any version of the Excel can do it. Are you getting it? But as we progress, we will do some certain things which only either Excel Online or 2021 upward will be able, which I'm talking about dynamic array this time around.
Okay.
So don't worry, let's just continue. So this is annual profit, as I said. So to demonstrate this and to show you that all this data that you have here is actually annual profit, I'm going to demonstrate something for you now. I'm inserting a new sheet here. Can you see it?
Yes.
So this is a plain worksheet. So I'm going to do something. I will say is equal to, we call that name what? Annual what? Annual profit. So that name, you can see that name coming up here. When you see something like this is a name range. So if I click enter, you will see what's going to happen. I'm sorry, I didn't select that annual. So you just double click this. So I click OK. So what did you notice? What it then means is that this data you are looking at here is what I bring to this place, just using this name, meaning that your data is warehoused inside this name. So moving forward, as you are doing your calculation, we're making reference to this particular name. So that is that about working with a table. Then with a table, you can summarize with pivot table. You click here, remove duplicate. Then if you want to convert back to normal Excel range, you just click convert to range. Can you see this? Should we convert back to range? Let's just do it. Yes. So you are going to see what's going to happen. You see that table design tab, you see, is no longer there. Then if you go back to this place, you can see what I'm having now. It's no longer that structure name because I've converted back to you can see what's happening here also. Can you see it? You can see
I'm seeing it, but I don't understand. I don't understand from convert to range, please.
Okay, what I did is, we are formally in a table. If you are
Okay.
doing your normal Excel, you do something like this plus this, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
So this N15 and N12, they are just normal range, normal Excel A1, A2, A3. Do you get it?
Yes, yes.
But in a table, you see that when I enter my formula, okay, let me do this formula. Revenue minus expense. You will see that, I drag it down. So you see B2 minus C3, isn't it?
Mm.
What does B2 mean? We don't know. What does C2 means? We don't know until you kind of audit it and try to click like this and see that, okay, it's actually coming from these two places, which is
Mm.
revenue and expense.
Mm.
So what B2 and C2 means, we don't know. That's what a range is. That's what everybody does, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is what people are always using. 90% of people that are using Excel, this is what I see every day,
Yes.
every now and then. This is what I see when I review model, when I check people spreadsheet. This is what I see, and it's
Yes.
not the best. It's not efficient. It's not the best. It's not efficient. Always use table, please. So let's convert back to table. You press Ctrl T. You see that I'm spending so much time on this table because my years of using Excel, over 7 years, I always see range. People don't use table. Please always use table. So, okay. So now we have table now. If we write this profit, revenue minus expense, then you can see that it's not using the normal B minus C. It's actually giving the name revenue minus expense. And this name is coming from this place. Do you get it now? That is why you must be able to give your header meaningful name. Now, if you change this to, let's say, something like this, can you see what I'm doing? And you change this one to something like this. Now, automatically, when you go back, it's going to update by itself. Can you see?
But the issue I have here is that
Okay.
I don't know how you got this is equal to at ref, because
No, no,
in
no, no, no. You don't know what? Don't bother yourself, and don't, for now, don't think about how this art actually come into play, because it can be confusing. For now, don't think about it. What you just need to do when you have your table like this and you want to work on it, one, you know how to convert to table, Control T, isn't it?
yes.
Enter. After you have converted to a table, just the way you normally do your calculation, do it like that, which is equal to
Mm-hmm.
revenue. You click on it, isn't it?
Mm.
Minus expense. I'm
Okay.
doing the normal, yes, I'm doing the normal thing. Just click on
Okay.
it.
Okay.
It
Okay.
will come by itself. Don't
Okay.
don't bother.
Okay. I
Yeah, I
got you.
understand. Yeah, don't bother. Don't type it. Just do
Okay.
normal thing. Yeah, it will
Okay.
come. You thought
Okay.
I'm the one that generated that name.
Uh,
No, 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 no. Just do
okay.
normal. It's simple. It's a normal thing, but convert
Okay.
to table first.
Understood. Thank you.
Oh, that's fine. So once you are done, then as I said, you come back to this place. You say annual. Now our name must have changed because we converted back to range. Now it's not table 4. So you go to this place, just say table 4. Table 4. You click, you can see. So all your data is now in this table. Do you get it now? So that is that about working with table. And I said you want to convert back to range. Don't forget, you click on convert to range. Then it's going to go back to normal A1, A2 style of referencing. So that's about working with table for now. Because as you move forward in your journey of analytics, your journey of going to Power Query, journey of going to Power BI. This is your foundation, this data structuring. Without this data structuring, I won't deceive you. There is no way. No way. Even you want to use your Copilot, it data has to be structured the way you are looking at it like this, following this rule first. You want to use your AI to query your data, it has to be structured first like this. So that is about data structuring. Now, I can hear a sound now. It looks like somebody is probably trying to join, which I think these are some of the things I'm talking about. Now, who admitted the person now? I think somebody just admitted the person. Is he?
Yes, I did.
Fine. So that means you can actually admit, and the person, yes, that means anyone can actually admit. That's fine then. It's fine. Thank you. So thank you so much. So let's continue. So that's that about table. Then, okay, fine. Now, moving back to this, you can see that this is currently, is this one in a table or in a range? This data you are looking at.
Range.
It's in a table.
Is in a table. See, always look at this place. Look at this table design. Once you see this table design, is in a table. This is your where you need to look like. Look at this table design. Once you see this table design, is in a table. Let me open another data for you. Now, you can see, when I click on this, can you see anything here? Nothing. So this is in a what? This is in a range. This is in a table. You can see table design. So now, looking at this data now, I've already converted it to table. I've taught this. So convert table is just press Ctrl T and enter. So now, looking at this table with this rule that we have highlighted, you can't, because as I said, structuring the data is very key. So when you look at data like this, the first thing you are going to ask yourself is, when you look at this number 5, every unique data must have its own column. The data in every column must have the same context. That's number 5. Now, if you go back to this data now, because I just want to break it down. This is staff name, for example. Now, looking at this staff name, each of the row under this column is of the same context. That is, they are all name of the staff. Coming back to the second one, department, they are also of the same context, departments. For example, let's say you have Lagos here. You know, if you have something like this, then you see that something is wrong, isn't it? Now, coming down to this place, you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now, from your even normal day-to-day knowledge, if you look at Monday, this is a column, isn't it? Does this actually talk about context as far as this column is concerned? We are saying Monday, and okay, these are the items under the Monday. You say remote, on-site. You cannot really say there is a context as far as the content of this column is concerned. You can see a context here. They are all of the same type, every content, every of the row here. But looking at this place, you cannot, isn't it? So, because they are day of the week, isn't it? This is what? Day of the week. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the day of the week. Then this one now, they say remote on-site. Using your knowledge, you will know that, okay, these are, we can just call it, is it working arrangement?
Working location. Okay,
Working location.
location.
Fine, fine, fine. It's fine.
Work location. Oh.
Work location. Okay, fine, fine. Work location. So this is another context. Now, what it then means is that this day of the week is supposed to be a column on its own, then having all his children under it. This work location also has to be a single column with all the children under it. Do you agree with me? I don't know whether you
Oh,
get what, I don't
yes,
know whether
yes,
you get it. Yes, you
yes,
also you can reason it well now that this is how it's
yes.
supposed to be. Yes, day of the week is a context, and we have children under them, which is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Work location only has two items: remote on-site, remote on-site. So what it then means that this data you are looking at is not in a proper structure for analytics. It doesn't comply with this rule, especially this number 5. So you cannot do any meaningful analysis with this unless you first transform this in a proper data structure. So we are going to address that now. So to address that in a proper structure, we are going to make it simple. We just go and use Power Query, no formula. You just click, you just click one or two places and you are done. Because actually to do this with formula, I'm not saying it's not possible, it's possible, but it's going to be very complex. In fact, when you see the formula yourself, you may not be able to figure it out unless you are very advanced as far as formula is concerned, mega formula. So, but we make it very simple by using Power Query. So Excel is not about writing complicated formula. It's about getting your work done, no matter the method you use. In as much you can use it to achieve whatever you are trying to do. So I think that is what is paramount. So for us to transform this now, we are going to take advantage of Power Query. What I just need to do, because okay, this is 365. I will just right click. Okay, let me delete. Please don't forget these two names because we are still going to use it. Day of the week and work location. We'll use it later. So what I will do is I will just right click. I will say get data from table or range. Now, if maybe the version you are using does not have this get data from range, paraventure, you just go to data, then you click on get data, then from workbook. So once you click from workbook, it's going to take you to your storage location, either on the desktop where you keep this file, then you will be able to select it from there. But straight away, this one is very simple and very fast. I just say get data from table or range. So I click on this. So you take me to Power Query. I hope you are still seeing my screen. You are seeing my Power Query window.
Yes,
I'm seeing
yes.
it, oh, but I don't know how
That's
you
fine.
got to this
No,
place.
no, no. No, it's very simple. No,
Please
don't
go back
worry.
small. Oh.
Don't
Go
worry.
Go
back,
Don't worry.
back.
oh.
It's
I don't know
very,
how you
I will
got
go.
here.
Let me go back. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's very simple. Now, this, we have been working on ranges, all what we have been doing. Now, Excel has front end and back end. What we have been looking at is the front end of Excel. So Excel has two back end. We have this Power Query and we have VBA window where you can write your VBA code. So this is another backend. So we have two backend and for Excel, Power Query and VBA. So let me go back to where we are coming from. Let me discard this. So this is where we are coming from.
Yes, yes.
So I want to take this data now to the backend. And I said, you can just right click and you say get data from range. But if you are not seeing this from your own version of Excel, what you just need to do is go to the data, then click on get data from from workbook. Let me click on it just for you to see. Now you can see it's giving me the list of what I have here. Then select the one you need to use, then click open. It's going to take it to that place. But since currently I can take the advantage of this right clicking because it's very fast and straightforward, I will now say get data from table or range. So once I click on this get data from table or range, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, I just click it. That's just what you need to do. Just click. So let's do the rest. So you can see. So what you are going to notice is, number one, that particular data, the name of that table is table 2, coming from Excel, because we did not rename it. This is table 2. Actually, you can do the renaming if you want to rename it here, but it's always better name it first from the Excel before coming here. Although you can rename it here when you click to this place. You can rename it in this place if you want. You can also do the renaming from this place when you double click this place. So this is our data. You can see it's the same thing. We have staff name, we have department, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So as I said, we want to transform this data to make it usable for further analysis in a structured way. So what we are going to do is very, very simple. What you just need to do, I'm not writing any code. The Power Query is designed, you'll be writing the code in the background as we are doing the transformation. And later on, I'm going to show you all the code that Power Query has written by itself. So what we need to do, this is staff name, this is department. And I said, we need to have a column called day of the week. And remember, you suggested another one, which is what? The second one.
Work location.
Work location also. So what we are going to do is these two, you are going to highlight these two. Like you can click on your control. You can see that these two is highlighted. Staff name and department. Very simple. Now, you right click. Now, you can see all this list when you right click like this. So you go to, you can see something they write here, Unpivot other column. So once I click on this Unpivot other column, it's going to do the transformation for us, and you yourself, you can see it. It's going to unpivot this unselected column. I selected 2 because the reason why I selected these 2 is because they are already in a normal form. Staff name and department. They are fine. They are okay. So you click on Unpivot other column and you are going to see what's going to happen. See that this is awesome. So what can you see? When I click on Unpivot other column, what did you notice? This data, it's now longer. It's not wider. Formerly, it was very wide, but now it's what? It's long. Now, this attribute, this is now our what? This is our
Day
what?
of the week. Day of the
Day
week.
of the week. Yes, also. Day of the week. Then, this is our what?
Work location.
Work location. So, you have seen that it's very, very simple. Now, with this structure, you can do whatever you want to do with this data. Any of your analysis, any of your count if, sum if, what have you, you can do it with this your data now. So now, what we are going to do now, we are going to send it back to the spreadsheet front end. So, okay, I said I'm going to show you the code it has written in the background. Would you like to see it or we just go on? Do you want to see the code?
Excuse me, please.
Show us. Let me see.
Excuse me, please, before we leave this page, please.
Okay.
Now
I
I want to be sure I got it right. I got it right. We highlighted staff name and
don't worry, don't worry. I will see how the recording will be made available. Let me.
I'm saying something, please. I said
Okay,
I want to be sure that I got it right. We highlighted
okay.
staff name and department at the same time.
Cor- correct,
Then we now right click and go
correct.
to Unpivot other column and
Other
we
column.
now arrive at this place.
You are correct.
Thank you.
You see that it's very simple and straightforward. See, as simple as it is, I'm not deceiving you. People don't know this. People do this manually on Excel to transform this data. Some people will not even transform, then they begin to sweat and try to do a lot of complex stuff. So, yes, the code. You said you want to see the code that's written in the background.
Yes, it's possible.
Okay. So let's go to view. So when you click on view, you go to advanced editor. So when you click on advanced editor, so this is what is written for that step, because these things are in steps. So for that step that we have taken, these are the code written. So in your journey, if you think, okay, you want to further your journey, you may now begin to, okay, try to understand what each of these things means. Try to see, okay, can I also write it myself if interested, and so on and so forth.
How will I be interested in
So,
this long?
no. Don't say how will I. No, it's not difficult. It's well, if you think you are not interested, then no problem.
No,
Are
I'm
you
talking
getting it?
about this formula. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Some people are actually interested. They want to actually understand what is actually happening. So, but if you
Okay.
think you are not interested, no, it's not a problem. Do you get it? You can actually do a lot without understanding what is actually happening. Just understand, as I've done. You have done. You have achieved whatever you want to achieve. Do you get it? That's all. Then, so let's send this back to Excel. Do you get it? You click on display, you now say close and load to. So now it's asking us, do you want to load that data to a new worksheet, or you want to load it to this uh, existing worksheet? So for me, I'm going to load it in this place. So existing worksheet. So I select where it's going to sit on. There are a lot of data in this place. Okay, should we just put it here? Let's put it here. Do you get it? So you click OK. So you can now see what's going to happen. So you can see now that our data is structured. Do you get it? Now, the advantage of doing this is, let me tell you, if you add additional data to this, let's say, okay, let's say we write Saturday, Abi, for example. So I just, for example, for simplicity's sake, I just repeat this. Now, we have Saturday now, isn't it? So if you go to the day of the week and you check the drop down, can you see Saturday here? There's no Saturday here, isn't it? So you just right click and you refresh. So once you refresh, you can see your Saturday. Can you see it? See that it's very simple. You can see Saturday. So this is how to, because once you see data, once you see any analytics project, don't rush. Try to understand what is actually happening. Is it data structure? Is it data in a normal form? And I need to transform it first. before even doing any further analysis. Do we get it? Any contribution, clarification?
But I'm just,
When
I
you,
don't.
One by one,
when
please.
you okay, let me ask this question.
Okay, go ahead.
Alarapo, you can go ahead and ask your question.
No, go, 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 go. The floor is yours.
Okay, well, I
Okay.
wanted to ask when you added the Saturday, did you just copy and paste? I think I batted
When I,
and I lead.
when I did
So I
what?
know it.
When
When
I
you added the Saturday column, you just copied and paste the other data.
No, 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 just for simplicity's sake. What I'm saying that if you add additional input, which is Saturday, on-site, remote, as the case may be, so you then refresh your data, then this is going to update. That is what I want to demonstrate.
Okay.
Now, my question is this. In the new data we have, okay. What of if it's not remote? If I put, let me say, date employed in place of Saturday, will it still upload or update that way?
Now, if you say date employee, for example,
Like 1985,
no,
2010?
I'm coming. Date employee. Now, if you say date employee, that means you are trying to type their date of employment here, isn't it?
Yes.
So what that means is that if you do that, I think it's advisable you start from this place to make it better, because we have staff name already here, we have department, and I think you should follow by date. Do you get it? Date employee here,
Yes.
not here. Mhm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so once you have it in this place, date employee,
Mm.
uh, you
Yes.
just, that process that I taught you in Power Query, what it then means is that when you want to do your, because by the time you have date employee, that date employee is in a normal form, is a normal data structure, because it comply with this number 4. It's going to comply with this number 4.
Yes.
So since it's comply with this number 4, by the time you send this data to Power Query, what it then means that when you are selecting your data, you are going to select 3 columns now, not 2. You are going to select 1, 2, and date employee before you now do right click. You remember and say on
Yes.
pivot other column. Do you get
Okay.
it?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one will happen. Yeah,
Okay.
you get it now.
Yes.
That is the logic. So any other one? Okay. Now, you have student score here. So this is another data now. We have student name. We have ordinarily, if anybody want to input this data, I can bet you this is how they are going to type it. Math, English, economics, chemistry, and all the subject, then the score of the students. So the question now is, one, is it data in a table, number 1, or in a range?
Range.
Is in a range. Fine, that's correct. Then 2, this data now, is it in a normal structure as we have been discussing from this place up to this place, looking at all these rules? Now, this data, looking at it now, is it in a normal data structure?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, with time you get familiar with it. It is no, it's not in a normal structure, because it's very simple. Looking at this, staff name. This is staff name. If the content there are of the same context, they are similar, then this column is normal. It's okay. Now, you look at it. Look at it now. This is maths. Okay, what is the name of this column now? In fact, that is the question we even need to ask ourselves. This column we are looking at, what is the name? There is no
Math
name.
score. Math score.
No, math. Okay, math score is not a name of the column. It's actually part of the data. what we're supposed to have in this place is that, the reason why I'm doing this different example is because I want you to be familiar with how data is, the one that is normal and is not normal. That's why you can see me doing 2 or 3 examples. So by the time I do all these examples, you will be well tutored as far as how normal data and normal data that is not normal is. Now, looking at this data, what we're supposed to have is normal, is student name. Normal data, student name, normal structure. Then you have, it's very simple. You have score. Then you have subject. That's all. This is a 3-column data, not all this wide. This one that is just wide. It's just 3-column data. Student name, student score, then subject. So, do you get it now? It's a 3-column data. So this data is not in data structure for analysis. It's not normalized. Do you get it now? It should be student name, student score, then subjects. That is the column. It will be longer, not wider like this. You remember what we have just done? This is it. You can see that it's longer now. It's not wide. So this is not a proper structure. So let's now structure it together. The same process, right click, get data. You click OK. It take you to the Power Query window. Remember, that first one that we did is still in our back end of Power Query. It's still there. Can you see it? This is the second table, the one we are about to do now. So now, this is the data now. Now, what you just need to do now, we just have one single column, then we unpivot all other column. You just say right click, then you say unpivot other column. Then you are done. See, it's very simple. This is what? Subject. Then this is what?
Score.
Score. No, as I said, the name you are giving to this column, they are very, very important. We call them metadata. They are part of the data. They are data giving further information about your data. So when you say score, that name may not actually describe that column properly. Do you get it? So let's say student score, because you can have performance score, you can have several score. So for the analyst not to just assume meaning, let's be precise. Student score. So we have it like this. Then you cannot send it to your Power Query, load and load to. Select existing, then it's going to sit down here. So you click OK. So you can see now we have our data well structure. So with this structure, when you want to do your further analysis using the exact formula, it won't be complex. Your formula will not be so complicated and just be big and be mega. But if you want to do it like this, using this form to do further analysis, it's going to be a lot of headache. We are just unnecessarily complicating things. So once it's structured like this, it's going to be fine. Do we get it? For example, let's say we want to find a kind of a report for this name. Now, if you want to get the report for this name, you are now using this structure. It's going to be complicated, but if you use this structure. Let's just say you say filter. Our array is this table. You can see, what can you see here? You see table 6_1. That is the name Excel assigned to it. Remember, I said you can change it if you want to change it. Then include. You want to include the name. This is our name. Now, another advantage, you want to select your range. You just click on the top header like this. Now, you can see you have the table name and you can see that I'm not typing anything. I'm just selecting. So, because you may be wondering, how are this name coming up? I just select this header here and you pick up all the range, not all this A1, A2. Because in A1, A2, you need to be locking with F4. So you just say where this is equal to B, then we close it, then we press enter. So you can see that the formula look very simple and simple because I'll be able to structure my data. Okay, now tell me, if you don't structure your data and you have your data like this, how will you be able to achieve this kind of report like this, and you have your data in this format? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. So it's very simple. So you have B, then if you just put A, you have your report for A. You put C, you have your report for C, and so on and so forth.
Hello, please, can you repeat the last step? How you get
Yes,
the summary for the A?
for the A. Yes, please.
Yes, I
For
was
the for the
distracted. Sorry.
for the A,
Yes, how you filter it? Yes.
you say is equal to filter. Then you select all this table. I just look at my arrow. Can you see my arrow? It pick all the data. Then comma include. We are including anywhere this student name, any of this student name is equal to C. So you click on this top header, it pick the student name from row 1 to the last row, comma, then where is equals to C, then you close it. Can you see it now? Then you press enter. You press
Wait,
enter.
wait,
That's
wait. This
okay.
last one you said,
I'm
after
coming.
clicking student name column, what next?
Yeah. Let me do it again. After clicking student name column, you say is equal to, because we want to generate report of student C. You click on this C, you see this C, student, I type it here, C,
Okay.
student, this is the name. You can put a drop down here. You know how to do drop down list.
Yes.
And you can put a drop down of the name here. So C, then you close it. Then you press your enter. Once you press your enter, you have all your results. So it's a matter of just changing the name now, and your report you will auto generate. Then you say C, then you can have, for example, if you say K, you will see what's going to happen. It's going to give you calc error. You can see calc error because K, are you with me? K is not in this list. Can you see it? So because K is not here, that's why you are having this calculation error. Do you get it? So you can
Yeah.
return back to A. So we have it like this.
Please, I want to ask: is filter in the group or sub of lookup?
Peter, I think you can it should be on the part of lookup, I guess. But you can check it out in one of these lists and see
Because I discovered
where.
that you use some of the argument of lookup.
No, I didn't
Okay.
actually use. What I use here is only filter. I didn't add anything to it.
I
The
know.
only
I said the argument they use under filter.
okay.
That
Yes,
yes.
The argument are most times always similar. Yeah. The argument, they may look similar. Yeah. Array,
Excuse me.
array. Yeah,
Excuse me, please.
I'm with you.
Before you go to this place now, you show something like M2 is equals to M2. Where did you get M2?
M2. M2
In
is a
your
cell. Wait, is a cell reference. I reference M2. This is M2. Look at this place. This is M2. M2. This is M2. I reference it.
can you show the function whatever written in that place again?
Okay,
Okay,
okay. This
yes.
this is it.
Okay, okay. I want to get that.
I reference this M2. You know, the A is sitting on M2
Uh-huh.
because you know I don't want to add code. I don't want to do something like this. When you do something like this, let's say I say A. Now, if I say A, it then means that I've restricted this report to only A. I cannot now say I want to change this to B. It's not dynamic. You can see it's not dynamic, but I don't want to restrict this. So that's why I have to reference it to make it so that I'll be able to change it. So you can just have your data validation in this place and be selecting it so that your report will be generating for each of the
Okay,
students.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So are we okay with this? So before we call it a day, let me quickly. I think most of the people we have here we are more of finance person. Am I right?
Yes, for me, I don't know about others.
Others, are we finance accountants?
I'm a registry staff, so I work on students admission portal and results
Okay,
in the
okay,
college.
okay. That's fine. Okay, no problem. No problem. It's fine because the data I'm trying to display now actually relates to finance people, accountants. So it doesn't matter. You can still is
Adapt it.
the
We can
yeah
I
you
can
can
always adapt it.
exactly it follow what we have been doing since. Do you
Mm.
get it? Because as I said, I want you. My goal is this transformation. I want you to be well grounded in it, in such that when you see any data quickly, you should be able to spot that this data is not in the proper structure before you even start to write any formula or you start to do any analysis at all. So that is the goal. That is why I want to try as much as possible to run through several examples. So now I want to open another one now. This what you are looking at now, it's what accountants are familiar with, finance people are familiar with. This is what we call a trial balance. This is what we call just a summary transaction of, even if you work in a school, in a registry, in a university, the people in the finance department, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, everything that has happened, you buy stuff, you buy your asset, you pay staff salary, you pay rent, everything that has happened for the year, for the month, is summarized in this what you are looking at. This is the life of the company. So if you are not a finance person, you are having the advantage of having an idea of what they do in finance and in account. The summary of what the accountant is doing from beginning of the month to the end of the month, from beginning of the year to the end of the year, everything ends. When you enter a finance department and you see 20 people on their laptop, everybody moving, everybody working, everything ends in this data you are looking at. So that is just the summary. And this is how it normally look like. For example, this is in a month, this is January, February 2019. You can have it by year, depending on how you pull it from your software. So this is January, February, and March. So for the accountant, it's only accountant I want to address this now. Your trial balance, is it how it normally look like? Or you normally have it in debit credit? Or how does it normally look like?
Ours used to be in debit credit. Those I've been saying, it used to be debit credit.
Okay, it used to be in debit credit.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the only thing that is different from what we are seeing, debit credit. Is that fine? Okay, so this one is in a single column. So even if you have it in if you have it in debit credit, you can actually convert it into this single column. Do you know how to actually convert it into one column when you have it in debit credit? Because it's better for it to be in single column if you want to do analytics with it, so that it will make the process seamless. You know, as I said, we are transforming data. There's no way you will have, okay, a trial balance for January. You now have debit credit. It will not be usable. It will not be machine readable. So it has to be in a single column. So this is trial balance January, February, March, April. And now, do you know how to actually convert it into a single column from debit credit? And I don't actually have an example of debit credit here. Do you know?
The debit is the one, like some of them, those are assets. Assets supposed to be debit. Anything assets is in debit. Anything expenses is debit. Anything liabilities credit. Anything income credit. Anything
So
provision is credit.
so I just want to
Cash
quickly
debit.
demonstrate. For example, we have accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation, that is going to be credit. Then for the assets at cost, it's going to be debit, right?
Yes. Yes.
So what I'm trying to quickly demonstrate is because some people find it very difficult to actually make it in a single column. You see them writing a lot of formula, which I think we can actually do it without writing formula. So what you can do, you just press your equals to. Then when you say 0, whatever you have here, even if you have a positive figure there, and you when you say this minus this, so it's going to be other way. See, because so when you say this EF credit minus debit, so at the end of the day you have a single column of negative. Do you get it? So if you send it down, this one's actually supposed to be positive. Although you can also use if function to do it. It's because I didn't have a trial balance that is in debit credit. I will have be able to demonstrate this thing properly. But no problem. Let's just move on. I don't have a trial balance in debit credit. Already converted it into a single. So so when you have your TB like this, for example, and you okay, now the question okay, for example, this one is in a table or in a range. First is in a range because we can't see table design here. So now that is in a range, this is GL code. Even if you are not an accountant, this header alone should be able to give insight into this. This is a code, meaning that you have to have code here. There is no way you'll be having something like this here. Even if somebody is not an accountant. So there is no way when you see something like this, you should know that something is wrong here. So we have a single column GL code, consistent, similar in context. They are all similar. They are codes. Classification are also similar because we are trying to classify all these items into category. So they are They follow the rule. They are of the same context. GL class descriptions also follow the rule. Then, now, if you look at this now, with everything we have been doing, I remember in one of the rule, we said date must be what? Look at this place. All date must be what? In a single column. So looking at this trial balance now, it has violated that rule. Date is not in a single column, it's in rows. So meaning that this data is not structured. And see, I told you, this is how people, accountants, this is how they make use of their trial balance while preparing their financial statements. They make use of it the way you are looking at it. And that is why when they are doing their reporting, the reporting will not be dynamic. You see them doing it every month, trying to adjust things. They still go back to the TB to add one or two things, go back to the report again to do it. So there are a lot of front and back, which prone to error. It's manual. It's not efficient. It makes you slower. So this is how people make use of their trial balance while preparing financial. It is not efficient. This need to be first transformed. Either you want to use it in a Power BI, in Power Query, in Excel to do any of your analysis. So it's simple, it's what we have been doing. You just right click, you say get data from table. Then now you select this. This has to be a column because date, a single column. You right click, you said unpivot other column. We are done. So this is date and this is amount or whatever you call it. Then you can send your data back to Excel. You can now say, let me send it to this existing what? Okay, let me select where we don't have anything. So you go to this place. So this is how it should be. See, as simple as it is, you are fortunate, you are lucky to know this at this stage. People don't transform their data. They do things the way you can see it like this, and it make it complicated. It's not efficient. As I said, what you just need to do once you have your trial balance for the new month, which is month, what is the next month now? August, Abby? August 19. No, July. So you can see it expand. Then populate your trial balance. Once you populate your trial balance for the new month, then you refresh your data. Then everything updates. So once you have it like this, you can do whatever you want to do with this trial balance. Your financial report is ready to go. Seamless. Seamless.
But then I have a question.
Okay.
You told us one of the conditions that the column must be uniform. See, some they wrote May 2019, then the
Okay.
next one June dash 19. I'm thinking that this one
you
supposed to
mean
be corrected
you
too.
you mean in the already transformed data or from the source?
Both of them.
No, for the source, this is source data. This is January data. Nothing
The
is
same
wrong.
thing I'm saying. See June
June.
2019, they wrote 19.
Okay, fine. No, I get what you are saying. Yes. No, you are very correct. It's very right to make it consistent. No, what actually happening is the formatting style. So what you can just click on this brush. I guess it should be formatting. This one is 2019. This one is It should be formatting. You can just yeah, I get what you are saying. It's good to make it consistent. 20. What happened is that this one is more or less seeing it as text. As text. Do you get it? Now, this one, do you get it? Is seen it as date. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm trying to say. It's very
Yes.
important. These two that you are seeing is seen it as normal date. Now, this is more or less like a text. So it's always good to make it consistent. And what you can do is, let's go back to the back end. Let's
I
go
think
back
the
to the
issue
back
is
end.
here. The issue is in this column under accounting, naira, custom. That's what it's showing when you click it the other time. I think that's where it should
Uh,
be listed.
It's the
no,
formatting,
I know what is
the
happening.
person
Yeah.
use.
See,
It's the
Yes, yes.
formatting style.
It's the formatting. No, I know, I understand. It's the formatting style. See, look at it. Look at this place. You can see custom here. Are you seeing it?
yes.
If you go to this place, you see accounting. No
And that's
problem.
why it should
Is
be
it?
changed.
Don't worry. No, don't worry. Don't worry. It's the formatting issue. But I want to show you a place where you can actually correct all the abnormality in your data, things that are not normal in your data. Where, because ordinarily you may not have the time to be looking at all these things one by one, but you can just correct everything once and for all. Let's go to the Power Query again. So let's see whether we can correct it from there.
What did you click to get to Power Query again?
I'm
It's like
coming.
you
I'm
click
coming. I
something.
will go back. Yeah, let me go back there. So once you are in your data like this, remember I said you are going to see a table design here, telling you that you are in the table. Are
Mm.
you there? Now,
Yes.
if you click on this Power Query output, eh? If you click on it, are you getting it? Click on
Where?
it.
Where? I didn't see it.
No, click on this place, this color, this place.
Okay.
O, column O. Click on one
Uh-huh.
of the data here.
Uh-huh.
Now, what can you see here?
Table design and query.
Query. This query you are seeing tells you that when anybody sends a file to you and you see query, it's a signal. You know, I'm giving you people some of the secrets in Excel. When anybody sends a file to you and you see query something like this, it tells you that the person has done some things at the back end before he send it to the front end. So this query now is the Power Query functionality. So when you click on it, query, you click on edit. So once you click on edit, it sends you back to the Power Query window. So when you get to this place now I want you to note something. Look at this date. What can you see here? Look at this. What can you see here? Tell me what you are seeing here. ABC. I hope you are seeing my screen.
Yes.
Talk now. ABC. You are seeing
Yes.
ABC here.
Uh,
So this ABC you are seeing, what it's telling you that the data type in this column is text. That is what that ABC means. If you go to this place, what are you seeing here?
GL 123.
123. This 123 tells you that the data type in this column is number. Now, what it then means is that this date here, this is not a correct data type. And if you send this data to Excel and you try to do any analysis, it will not work. It will not work. Write all the formula, it will not work. Pivot table, it will not work because this data is a text. Ordinarily, it's because that data is not big. That is why you are able to spot that that date is not consistent. If that data is massive, you won't be able to spot it. The only place you'll be able to spot it is this Power Query. You can't do away with Power Query. Power Query, make it your friend. So now you can see this is text, but it's supposed to be date. What we need to do now is you click on this and let's see what's going to happen. You can see date here. Can you see date? So invariably, these are the different type of data type that we have. You can see listed here. So Now, this is date. Let's click on date and see what happened. What can you see? So immediately I click on date. That error that you spotted the other time, it's already corrected. So everything you are seeing here now, they are all dates. So once I just click load, close and load, then it then means that what can you notice here? This date you are looking at now, it's okay. Forget about the source. The source is not normal. The source is faulty, but you have been able to do your transformation. You have been able to make it suitable for analysis by doing all the necessary cleanup. So you have a normal date now. If you do any analysis with this one now, it's going to work.